Hi everyone, Rochelle Smith, and I'm from Stampin Up in Melbourne, Australia. Thank you for joining me today as part of the Crafty Collaborations 2024 Stampin' Up annual catalog launch. It's great to be here with you. And today I've got a fairly simple card using some design series paper and a card sketch you can use with other paper or products you may have. So I hope it helps you as you start creating. And maybe if you are a crafter who's been crafting for a while, it could be something. If you're in a hurry, you may like to recreate, or even the sketch might be something you'd like to use. And today I'm going to be using some of our in colors from the 2024 2025 range. And so I'll just show you the stamp set that I'll be using. It's the Country Flowers stamp set. Sorry, not the Country Flowers, Country Birdhouse. The accompanying stamp set is the Country Flowers from the suite. It's the Country Wood suite. And we'll be using just the stamp set. There is an accompanying um, die set that goes with this, but we'll just be using the stamp set today. So I will be creating a card using the Pretty in Pink cardstock. This is a standard card front, but it's a 10 fold. So it's half a sheet of A4, which are folded in half. It's folded in half. So if you get the tutorial bundle, you will this will be included in that. I'm also using, as I said, the Country Birdhouse stamp set. I'll be using the Unbounded Beauty Designer Series paper. What I love about this paper is that it has our ink colors in them. So I would, if I was to purchase a starter kit, I would get those in color Designer Series paper and the Unbounded Beauty Designer Series paper because they really work well together. It's got the same colors, and you can mix and match and make some coordinated projects. So what I've got is today I'll be using the ink, Pretty in Pink, Peach Pie, and Crumb Cake. So crumb cake, which can be substituted, you will see with any neutral perhaps you've got in your range, and a memento, a tuxedo black memento ink. Now, I always recommend if you're starting out, get a black ink because that's going to be really handy, much needed. So to start off with, we will stamp the bird from the Country Birdhouse stamp set in Pretty in Pink ink. I've got my little bag of goodies here. And because the stamp set is photopolymer, now photopolymer being this clear sort of look, and it hasn't got like rubber at the bottom, use a piercing mat under, which you can get in the online store to give you some cushioning. I'm going to stamp that in right there in Pretty in Pink. And then I'm going to bring in my modern oval punch. Punches are really good to give you some quick and easy projects and make things really simplified for you. So with our punches, you just hold it in place, then press halfway down, then it locks it in and punch out. I'm going to punch out another one oval from a piece of Pretty in Pink. And I will show you what I'm going to do in a minute. The next thing I'm going to do is use crumb cake ink to stamp sort of a bit of the tree, which is this stamp. So a branch down the bottom along the bird. So the first one I'll do is right under his feet. So I'll try and get my head right there, but you'll be able to do this at home, getting your head right under that. And then I'm lining it up. You can see through with photopolymer. And yeah, my left one is a bit wonky. That's okay. We can, it's a tree trunk, so all good. Right. Let's start. So we've got a cute little image. I want to add some color to this bird, and a good little coloring tool is your a blender pen. You get 3 in a pack. The blender pen comes with 2 tips, either side, the same, both sides the same. And what it does, it has some special fluid in it, which makes blending your colors easy. Now, ideally, I would say have your ink refills, but if you don't have your ink refills, this is another way you can use your ink pads. Take a clear block. So I've got pretty in pink there, and I'm going to put peach pie, which is another ink color this year, and we're going to use it like a palette. So if you had ink refills, you can use that as well. So ideally, if you get your um, uh, ink pads, get your refills at the same time. So to just clean it, I'm just making sure there's no other color on this. I'm going to put that color and just add some along that. And you can make that a bit lighter if you wanted to. And going in along the edge of I'm pulling back a bit of that color by getting it off on the scrap paper. Now don't oversaturate in that sense because this is not watercolor cardstock, it's just regular basic white cardstock I've stamped on. Now I'm gonna take off that color, the pink, and I'm going to add pretty peach pie, sorry. I just want a faint bit there. And I'll have his beak a bit brighter. And it just adds that touch of color. Now, having a blender pen is really handy because you can do all sorts of like coloring with it. Just see how it's just adding that little bit of color. That's sufficient for what we want. All right, I'll put that aside. I'm going to cut this piece in half. And we're going to create a map or a stamped image. If you like other types of coloring, like stamping blends or watercolor pencils, just use what you've got. And but I think blender pens are great for using with what if you have limited supplies as well, so you can use your ink refills, your inks to make that work. So I've got my card base. I've got a white mat. and a piece of this Unbounded Beauty Designer Series paper, which we're going to match together. I have got another piece of Pretty in Pink, and this is not quite it's a semi-matte in the sense how I'm going to lay it. It's going to be flush on that side, and it's got a border on this side. So we'll glue this down. And you can see this card comes together fairly quickly. This paper is just really beautiful. I love it. So this is exactly the same sheet. It's just the other side. Then I'm going to stick this on my card front. Just burnish your scored line, or stick that down. That's looking more like how I want it. Sometimes I don't think that's the right top and bottom, but sometimes one side may look better than the other. So just feel your way through that one. So we'll stick that down. Now with this, I want that to sit right on that edge. I'll glue that down. So it's a mat of sorts, so that it's not, one side will be flush. Now the idea with me putting this right on that corner instead of against the white is for some visual interest, creating something a little bit different so it's off the page, because generally you've got your square or your rectangle, and I'm just creating that visual interest going off that page. So if you were getting anything with the in colors, you use your in color. You could even use your in color Stampin' Up markers to color this in. All right, so I've got some in color designer series paper, which we will use, and I'm going to trim that at an angle on the edge. Now, our starter kit, you would know, this is part of it. You're going to get some of this designer series paper in it, which is a great great little bonus. You can get some Stampin' Up markers. You're going to get the 5 ink pads in the enclosure and some cardstock. So here in Australia, it's $144 bonus on top of your regular starter kit value. So perfect. Now, I have a piece of this, which is Summer Splash, which is another in color, and I'm going to stamp our sentiment in Tuxedo Black onto this little piece of cardstock. I'm going to bring in my piercing mat, and I've got a bit bigger piece than I need, and I'll stamp it right side up. Not that it matters too much. Much of a muchness there. Okay. So I'm going to bring in some tear and tape, which is double-sided tape. And on my ribbon, which is the polka dot ribbon, which is from the online exclusive section in our catalog, not in our catalog, in our shop. Go check it out. And we're going to stick that down like that. This bird's going to be there with some dimensionals. And I am going to put the banner on, or the the angle on both sides, and I'll tell you why that is once I assemble this so you can see why I'm doing it. The bird is facing to the right of the card, so I have to place it left. If you place it here, he looks a bit strange, like he's just not, it doesn't look right because he is looking right, if that makes sense. So you want to place the bird to the left, so his like eyes are going towards the right hand side. Right, now I will add dimensionals there. And then going to stick that there. Then I've got my happy birthday, which I'm going to overlap. Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna trim that a bit. So I've got those there, and it's just then guiding your eye. I've got that one on the left, and this guides your eye to the right. So for embellishments, we have got some of these in color gems, which I will use. And I don't know, let's try something different. And I'll show you one I did earlier. We'll use the peach pie of this. And you let me know which one you prefer. And I will also show you how I decorated the inside of my other card, so you get some sort of idea how to do it. I just had these pieces here. So for my card, my sample, I did decorate the inside as well. But our card's done. I hope you like that. I just love that paper. This is my sample card. The difference with this, so the sample, this is the original, this is the one we made now. I mounted this particular piece on dimensionals, and I just glued this straight on. So if you want to add a bit more texture and layering, add that on dimensionals. I've added the Summer Splash embellishments, and this one has the peach pie. For the inside of the card, I did that, add a bit of strip of the Summer Splash with the designer series paper. So I hope you've enjoyed that, and I hope you have fun with the new catalog, having a browse through and shopping with that. And if you have any questions, please leave me a comment. I would love to help you out. Please follow me for more ideas on YouTube. I appreciate your time today, and enjoy the rest of the launch. It's going to be fun. We have lots of presentations for you. Thank you so much, everyone. Bye-bye.